Welcome back, you giggling gal pals. We have the author of the upcoming book, Godsbane, with us, Lindsey Richardson. We both received advanced reader copies of the book, but Godsbane comes out on October 7th, 2025.
Warning, we may be your giggling gals, but we say some shitty things, so we don't recommend listening to this podcast around little ears or ears that may be offended. While chit-chatting with Lindsey, the goal is no spoilers, but if it happens, there will be warnings in our info with the timestamp that the spoilers happen. So let's get into it. Let's get to know our guest, Lindsey. Welcome to the Real Housewives of Velaris podcast.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
We're obviously really excited. I had to get most of that out before we hit record, but we are so happy to have you with us.
Yeah, thanks. I'm so excited to be here.
So you're a mom, so you had to get your kids ready this morning and do this.
I did, and I actually had to work part of my 9 to 5 before this too. So we've been just
Oh
like
my
going
God.
full steam ahead. Yeah.
Mhm.
No rest around here.
How old are your kids?
8 and 4.
Okay, in the
Hmm.
same when
Yes.
we both have 8-year-olds as well.
Mhm.
Okay. What a age, man.
What a
And
thing.
they're
Yes.
wild. Yeah.
A lot of highs and a lot of lows.
And
Yeah.
it was a new moon, so these kids have been something else lately.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah. Same thing here. Yeah.
Okay, we're not alone with the
No.
crazy kids. How do you balance, you said you have a 9 to
Mhm.
5 and you wrote a book that I really love. How did you balance all of this? And Blakely loves it too.
Yeah, I very carefully. There was, somebody told me once it's about figuring out what balls you can drop and they bounce back. And so,
Mhm.
there's those things that you have to hold on to that are kind of precious and delicate, and then there's those things that you're like, we might be a little bit behind on laundry, or that dishwasher might need to be unloaded again. Like those are things that can bounce back. So I have an incredible support system, though. From the moment I said that I wanted to write a book, my husband has just been like full on, like whatever you need, go do it.
Mhm.
And so I wouldn't be able to do it without him and without the other people in my life that have really helped out. But writing was such a therapy process for me. I lost someone very close to me about 2 years ago. And it was kind of that moment where I was like, I need to figure out how to process this grief, how to like do something that makes me excited about life, and also like move ahead on dreams that I've always had that had just went on the back burner when I became a mom and started focusing on my career. And so that's really what Godsbane became. And I'm so close. The dream is it's right there. Like we're publishing in 2 weeks, and I can't believe it. It's happening.
We were both just like, "Oh, we don't get to have the book on display because we're excited to have it." It's a beautiful book.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I had a friend that I worked with at a previous job, and her job was not design, but that was a passion she had. She was always sketching stuff. And so from the moment I started thinking about what I wanted my cover to look like, I just knew that it was her art style and all the little doodles that she would do on stuff. And so I just called her and was like, hey, do you want to do this? And she's like, I've never done that before. I was like, well, I've never done this before either. So let's do it the first time together. And it turned out absolutely incredible.
Oh, it's
It's
perfect.
perfect.
It's so perfect. Because
So we're right because we both said it.
not every book cover is a hit, you know? Some are
Yeah.
some are different, and this
Like,
one's
I
a good
want it
one.
facing on the side, not I don't want the spine, like, it's a side book. Like, we
Yeah.
get to
Yeah.
display it
Mhm.
Hmm.
because you get
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is
there's
a
2
preference.
types of books, you know?
Hmm. For sure. For sure.
So you started writing. Is
Mhm.
this right? I saw in your stories, was it during your daughter's dance class? That's where you wrote a plot?
I do. So, don't have a lot of free time,
Right.
but during my daughter takes dance once a week, and the parents are not allowed to come in to
Mm.
like where they actually practice. There's a waiting room, but there's usually a lot of other little kids running around in the lobby, and it was just hard for me to focus. And so I said, hey, this is a dedicated hour and a half I get every week where nobody talks to me. So I would just put my phone on silent and go sit in my car, and I wrote just huge pieces of the book there in that parking lot in the same parking spot. And I'm drafting book 2 there too every week.
I'm so excited. I've
Okay, so you have kids and you have
Mhm.
dogs. What kind of dogs do you
I
have?
do.
Very important
I
question.
I have a golden retriever who is very much in his like teenage dirtbag era right now. He is just wild and crazy everywhere. And then I have a Brittany as well. She's a little bird dog. She's an old gal. I've always joked that, like if I could have one magical power, I would love to be able to hear her thoughts out loud because her face is so judgy, and I just know she's absolutely hysterical.
I love her already. Judgy.
Yeah, it sounds like our kind
Gold.
of dog. Like,
She's great.
I love judgy old biddies, that are just judge it away.
Yeah, that's her. And actually, it's a funny story. So, she is an escape artist. Like she lives a life of luxury here, but anytime the door even cracks open, she's like, "I gotta go, I gotta go." So she ran away one day, just in the neighborhood, out for a little run. But that's actually what inspired the story behind Godsbane was her running away. I had spent time like chasing her around the neighborhood and getting her back home, and like coming down off all this anxiety and this kind of like, "Oh, I've just been running around screaming her name." And I thought, what if you just were running, you had this dream where you were running around calling out for somebody, screaming their name, and then you wake up and you didn't know who it was, but you just knew that like there was all this anxiety and there was something really bad that was coming. And so I thought, let's sit with that for a minute and play with it. And then the story of God's Bane was born from that.
I love that.
I
I love that we asked about your dog so we could get this story. That's
Me too.
incredible.
I love that.
Nobody would expect it to come from that at all.
No, no, I didn't expect it to come from that.
Inspiration comes from anywhere,
It
okay?
does. It
It
does.
truly, truly does. So tell us what you are currently reading.
Oh, so I am currently in the middle of The Fallen and the Kiss of Dusk by Carissa Broadbent. She is one of
Mhm.
my favorite authors. She's an auto-buy author for me. And I have been kind of savoring this one because I love her so much. So I am way behind. I know it came out a few months ago and it was like my most anticipated read of the year, but I'm not quite not quite done with it yet. I'm also in the middle of reading A Lady of Means, which is a debut historical romance from one of my close friends, Carly Kay. I'm actually helping host her release launch party later this weekend and doing a really awesome
Fun.
Q&A with her.
You
So
get to
right in the
drop
middle
her name and her
of both
book.
at once. Yeah.
Do you like physical ebooks or audiobooks?
Ooh, I used to be physical only.
Mhm.
And then I got a Kindle, and now I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I just love I love that I can like just highlight and make notes and all that stuff without needing to keep up with a pen or stickies or all that. But I love a good audiobook with the right narrator. Like a narrator makes or breaks it.
Mhm.
But with the right narrator is just it just adds something so special.
I think it's probably the ADHD in me that I will
Hmm.
have usually a physical book that I, like, bought,
Hmm.
like a trophy
Yeah.
book. I'll be reading that, and then I'll also have 1 or 2 on the Kindle, and then because being a mom and trying to get shit done, I listen to a
Hmm.
lot, otherwise I would just be rotting on my couch, so I'm like,
For
"No, I
sure.
have to, like, clean my house, so I'll listen."
Yeah.
But I was a staunch no, I like
Hmm.
physical, I never and then you get a Kindle and you're like,
Yeah.
"JK, I
Yeah.
lied."
That was absolutely me. Yeah.
I feel like we all are so anti Kindle until we get one. And then we get it.
Mhm.
We're like, why did I live without this ever?
Right? You're like, "This is great. I can just take it with me everywhere I go," and it's so thin and small, and I love it.
Never go back.
Yeah. Yeah. I was so biased against them. And now I'm like, I need one for my son.
Mhm.
What are your 3 favorite fantasy series? And we have a follow-up question
Mm,
with this.
mm. It's
Ooh,
a hard one.
that one is
We give
hard.
you 3 and we can say series, or it could be individual books. We'll take either.
Okay, so, I would say my 3 favorite series, I love Throne of Glass. That's just,
All
a
girly.
huge one. I was a huge fantasy reader growing up too, and I love to see the parallels with that series and like Lord of the Rings, and some of the big players. So I that one's a really special one to me. I also really love the Crowns of Nyaxia series. The Serpent and the Wings of Night is the first book in that series. Love that one. And I love the Plated Prisoner series by Raven Kennedy. Those are all really good ones.
Slade.
Slade
Oh,
Ravender.
oh, just the best, the best.
God tier book boyfriend. Like,
Love. love.
He's up there with Rezan. Like Slade is amazing. He's so
So
incredible.
good. He's book husband. Like there needs to be a whole separate category for him.
Well, that's what we say with ours. For our top 3, I have a really hard time, well, especially if it's like one of the first like
Mhm.
fantasy books that you read as an adult,
Yeah.
like out of that. Like
Mhm.
Zayden, I have a hard time with anybody. Reese is just like the godfather of book boyfriends, so he doesn't really
Yes.
count.
Yeah.
But like Slade is, oh, I love him. And I don't like rot. I throw up at everything, but I'm like, please come to my house. I'd love you.
But when he does it, it's different.
It's totally different.
Yeah.
What male main character from Throne of Glass is your number one?
Oh, Dorian, hands down.
Thank God it's not Adian.
Hands down. No, no, no. I'm a Dorian girl through and through.
Otherwise, I'd have to stop the interview and be like, so Godsbane,
So
Adian,
sorry. Yeah.
bye.
This is great. Love to wrap it up. Okay,
Yeah.
so we will take Dorian, Slade, and then I haven't read the other series, the male main character. Who would you pick from that?
Oh, that's hard. So they're like sets of duologies and they kind of follow
Oh,
some
okay, so
different
it's kind of like Witch
characters.
Kingdom.
Yeah, yeah. So it's I have a hard time picking my favorite male main character out of there, but I think Asar from the second duology is probably my favorite of the male main characters. Yeah.
So take those 3, fuck, marry, kill.
God. Oh, I'm so sorry, Asar, but you are gonna have to go first. You are out. You can't compete. You're great, but you can't compete with the other two. Oh man,
I'm
that's an
just trying to
impossible choice.
I'm trying to decide what I would do between fucking Mary between. Wow.
You know,
This is
No, I
actually
know.
a really hard one.
this is hard. I think I think I would have to marry Slade because I
Yeah.
think he's like I
Yeah.
will never get enough,
Yeah.
like love you, Dorian, but just sorry, just a one and done kind of thing.
Yeah. I think that's
But
the right answer.
yeah, I feel good about that. I feel good
Yeah,
about
I feel like no, that's the good one.
yeah.
Okay, so another really important male main character
Oh my
question.
God.
Hey.
Didn't see you did this. Okay, good.
Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Oh, okay. Team Edward, and have been since the beginning because I just don't get it. I was okay with Jacob until the whole imprint on Renesmee
Renesmee.
thing, and then I was just like, I got the ick, and you can't come back from that. It's impossible. It's
But if he never did that, would it be Jacob?
no, I don't think so. If I'm being true to myself, I don't think so.
That's
What
fair.
is
That's fair.
wild though is to think like back then, thinking that you were really into Edward and that he was so great.
Yeah.
And then reading the books we read now, and you're like,
Uh-huh.
wow,
Ooh, yeah.
we were
Wasn't it?
starved for good
Yeah.
men.
I did the audiobooks this year. It was a journey. And now I feel like I have to ask everybody if they're Team Edward or Team Jacob again, because that's a feud that lives on, I feel like.
It is. It really is. But like I said, the whole imprinting on the baby thing. Ugh, I don't know how you defend that.
No.
It's
And
frowned upon.
I don't know. I just feel like there'd be fur all over your house with Jacob. This would be a cleaning nightmare.
Yeah, yeah, can handle that.
You have to squeegee your rugs like they do just to get all his
Yes.
fur up. Like leather
Yeah.
couches only. Jacob, please don't scratch at that door.
I'm such a mom. I'm like, no, I think he'd be too furry. I don't want to clean it.
Oh, you'd have to snake that drain.
Oh
Ugh.
no,
Why would
can't
you
do
do
that.
that?
Can't.
Why'd you bring that up?
Well, they're hairy.
True.
So on that note, what is your
Yeah.
go-to writing snack and drink?
On that note,
That's an excellent transition.
yeah, we're professionals, Lindsay.
That's so
Top
good.
tier.
Okay, go to writing second drink. I love sour candy when I'm it just like makes the brain go get
Mhm.
so probably either like sour gummy worms or little nerds gummy clusters. I think those are
Uh,
probably the things that I ate the most
those
when
are
I was
so
writing.
good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then usually because I am writing at night after my kids go to bed, I usually will have like a high noon or like a glass of red
Right.
wine with
Okay.
it. And so I think that's probably what I did the most while I was writing. Yeah.
Are you a 3-drink girly?
Like, do you have?
Oh,
Like, you have
yeah.
3
Oh,
at
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Caffeine, hydration, and a
Yeah.
fun drink. Absolutely. Yeah.
Hmm.
I only have 2 right now. I think do you have only
I
2?
have two. I have two right now.
I
Yeah.
have two as well.
Yeah.
So
We haven't
morning
got
is
the
for
fun
2.
drink. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's
It's still
9:50
a
in
little
the
early
morning
here.
here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Mimosa
Just dropped our
Monday.
kids off.
right. I'm on the clock. So,
Yeah. That's frowned upon
yeah.
usually.
Yeah.
So more about you instead of like the things that you
Hmm.
love. You have 2 short stories on your website.
Do.
The Warrior and the Pirate Queen and Divinity. Any chances that those will become full-length stories, or are you going to leave those as is?
Oh, so I actually wrote those as a part of a writing contest. And that was just to kind of flex my muscles and just get better at like coming up with a prompt or like, how to expand on and come up with a story in less than 2,000 words. And it's really hard to write like a fantasy and a romance arc in 2,000
Yeah.
words. So that was just more of like testing my muscles just to see if I could do it. I love the idea of maybe turning the pirate and the warrior queen into something bigger, but it's pretty far down on my list of ideas that I want to execute at the moment. Divinity was fun because it's a cozy fantasy, and cozy is not my genre. It was fun to write, but I don't think I'll take that one any further.
So that sounds like we can expect some new stories from you.
I hope so. I've got a book full of things, but we have to finish the Godsbane series first. That's the one that's keeping me up at night. So we'll
Is
see.
it, are you wanting it to be a trilogy?
Two. No, it's going to be a
Duology? Okay.
duology. Yeah,
Yeah. I was
yeah,
like,
it's going to be
wait.
two
No.
books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would take 3 for Cal. I personally
Yeah.
would, so that's fine.
He keeps having so many storylines as I'm drafting book two. I'm like, oh, well, we could do this. Oh, well, we could do that. And then I'm like, no, 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 rein it back in. Right. We got to focus on the main story first. So who knows what else will come in that universe in the future.
It could turn into a trilogy. You
Could.
could end up liking it that
God,
much.
you're just
It
really
could.
pushing her on this one. Okay.
I just,
Stop.
yeah, I'm gonna bully her into a 3rd book.
I love that. That's a huge compliment.
I want to continue their story is all I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like it's so well written, which we'll get more into the book. But yeah, I love it.
Thanks.
Did you always want to be an author? Was that like a dream as like a little girl, or was this a later in life dream?
Yeah, I've always loved to write. I've always been that kid that like felt too much and too deeply,
Mhm.
and I was really excited to like read the thesaurus for fun because I wanted to find out new words to like describe the emotions I was having. And my husband doesn't like for me to tell stories because I tend to like embellish them and make them into this big thing because storytelling has always been such a passion. So I knew I wanted to write something. I just didn't think that I could write anything that was good enough that people would want to read. And then I started doing it and I realized, hey, I think maybe I can. We're gonna try it at least.
It's working out. I'm really excited. What gave you that push though to really make you be like, this is it. I'm gonna freaking do it. I don't care. Like, because there's usually a
Yeah.
point, especially like as moms, I think, that where you're just like, no, I know that you had like something, you
Hmm.
lost someone,
Yeah.
but you're like, no, I'm just gonna start. And you just start every day. Is
Yeah.
that,
So I I had read some of the big fantasy books and I was kind of complaining to my husband one night because I read one that I didn't particularly enjoy that wasn't really for me. And I looked at him and I said, I think I could write a book that's, better than this one. And he was like, okay, then why don't you do it? And so I was like, okay, why don't I do it? Why don't I try it? And so I started writing. And at first I was like, I don't know if this is going to be anything that ever materializes into something that's going to be put out in the world, but I'm going to do it for me to be able to say that I did. And I wrote a couple of things that just kind of started to click. And I let a friend read it, and she was like, "You have to publish this." She was like, "You have to keep going." And so I said, "All right, let's go." And I just really felt like the whole journey, like things have just fallen into place in a way that feels like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And so it's just really nice to kind of feel that like support from the people around me and also like from the universe too, being like,
Right.
you go, girl.
I love that.
Shout out to your husband for this, like that little
Yeah.
push. Because thank
Yeah.
you for Godsbane.
I will let him know that everyone is very thankful for him. He'll appreciate that.
His review is actually my favorite on your page. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Yes, yes. I actually asked him, I was like, oh, I'm trying to figure out which is my favorite quote. And he was like, yeah. He was like, it was good. He's like, I just can't remember any quotes. And I
Mm.
was like, thank you. Glowing review once again.
Thanks,
I really
husband.
appreciate it.
They're never really that great with the details, are they?
No, no, no. But Gorilla has been so amazingly supportive to just help me do everything that I've needed or wanted with this book. He's been like, just go for it. Just I got the kids. I got this. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. So an MMC in his own right, for sure.
We love a supportive king.
Yeah.
Good. One of the questions that we got, it's a little changing,
Mhm.
from one of our followers was, what was your favorite book that you were required to read in school?
Oh, that is such a good question. I really love A Wrinkle in Time. We were
Yes,
required to read that.
yeah.
I really love this idea, this whole like kind of venturing
Mhm.
into the sci-fi world with that. That one is just one
That's
that's really stuck with me and that I read a lot. Probably like every couple years, I'll pick it up and reread it. And we own a copy because that one is frequently banned, and so I want to make sure that my kids read it because it's just stuck with me, and I'm hoping maybe it'll stick with them too.
I need to reread that. I really loved that book as a kid,
Hmm.
so that I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
You influenced me.
Yes.
I have never read that.
Oh,
Really?
it's so good.
I I went to school in Tacoma, so it was it. This was in the 90s. I read the Boxcar Children and Goosebumps only. Like that's it.
Well, but we love those too. I'm a big fan of those. They weren't required reading at school, but they were pretty much
Yeah,
laid
no,
on the shelf.
just book required,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
specific. My school did not
sure.
require Goosebumps.
I
But it
mean,
would have been awesome
Tacoma,
if they did.
They should because they have choose your own stories. Like that's
Yeah,
great.
it's good. Yeah,
Goosebumps scared me. I couldn't read it.
I'm gonna buy them for my son because
yeah,
we watched
I have
Stranger Things this weekend. So he needs to get into Goosebumps. It's time.
yeah, yeah. That's a good transition there for sure.
Excellent parenting.
I let my 8-year-old watch Stranger Things, and now I'm gonna
Mom of the year, Goosebumps. It's fine.
It's good. Hey, I was reading them in the third grade, so I feel like that's fine.
I feel like
Yeah,
Goosebumps
it's
is fine. It's
acceptable.
made for that age. It was just
Yeah,
like
for
the
sure.
Stranger Things comment got, which I support, but it
Yeah.
got.
So let's talk Godsbane. I will keep it together. I'm not gonna be super excited. What inspired you to write this series?
Oh, so
Like
I
obviously the dog, we got that, but
yeah. The dog was kind of the big piece, but I didn't know exactly where I wanted the story to go, and so I played around with a lot of different things, and I just couldn't really get the ending to click for a while, and so I kind of went through. I called my girl group. They're the Shadow Baddies. It's our 3-person group text because everybody has a three
it's
person
so
group text
cute.
with an odd name.
Yeah.
So brought the Shadow Baddies over, and we had like a girl dinner and wine, and we just started like I was like, here's my magic system, here's my kind of political landscape, like where should we go with this, and we threw a bunch of ideas at the wall, and then we kind of ended up in a version of what Godsbane turned out to be, but really the characters kind of helped figure out where we were going with
Right.
that. But like I said, I really needed like a therapy and an outlet, and there were so many things that were going on in the world, and I was like, I just want to figure out how to make sense of all of this in a fantasy way, because I really do think that like fiction really helps us make sense of things that are going on around us, and process things and with emotions that maybe we can't have in our day-to-day lives. And so I
Mhm.
really was looking for an outlet for that, and it just kind of all fit together in this perfect storm.
Literally perfect storm. How did you feel about writing spicy scenes? Because, damn it, Lindsay, Cal has a filthy mouth, and I love it.
That was embarrassing for me, but I knew that I wanted to do it, and so I was like, we're just gonna go for it." I actually travel quite a bit for work, and so I spent a lot of time writing this book in hotels because that I was also by myself and didn't have any other responsibilities after work, and I wrote the first spicy scene in a hotel lobby bar. And I sent pictures of it to my to my girlfriends, and they were like, "Where are you? Are you in public?" They were like, "Are you like 5 shades of red right now? Are you okay?" So they were. I went through several variations. Like the first time we wrote them, it was like super mild, like green bell pepper, and then I was like, maybe let's hype it up a little bit. And then it was like, it was too much, and I was like, let's scale it back down a little bit. And I remember I let my husband read them, and he was like, "You do know people that we know are going to read this, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, go for it."
That was going to be my follow-up questions. Like, what did this been think?
Yeah. He was like, "These are great. I think you did a wonderful job, but your mom's going to read this." So
Has your mom read it yet?
my mom has read it. Yes, my mom has, and she loved it. My dad, however, asked my mom if she could just let him know what if there's any plot that happens in those chapters so that he can skip them. So
Good job.
yeah.
Did your mom say any? That's crazy. I can't imagine like writing a spicy scene and like
Yeah.
my dad reading that.
Yeah, no, I told him that I could just give him the cliff notes, that he didn't have to read it. So he's gonna skip it, I think. But no, my mom didn't comment on those. She just said, "Wow, there were some moments," and kind of just left it at that. So
Oh, that's so Southern.
it is. We avoid topics we don't like.
Yes,
So she's
it's
just like,
very Southern.
okay, yeah.
Your spice is written really well.
Mhm.
It can
Thank
be
you.
written in so many different ways, but it's done really well and
Thank you.
tastefully and just
Thank
love
you. I
it.
had a list of words that I was like, I really don't want to use these or kind of go in
Yeah.
this direction. And so it was a lot of like playing around to find that spot where I really felt like, oh, this is hot, but it's also like I'm okay if this goes out in the world too.
I love it.
Speaking of words on a list you didn't want to
Mhm.
use, I once made a meme about when the MMC called like a nickname, and it was Princess. And I hadn't read Godsbane yet, and then you reposted it,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like, no, like we just like had booked you, and we were like so excited about
Yeah.
it. Like I was so excited to read Godsbane. I was like,
Mhm.
"You always putting your fucking foot in your mouth." Like, with that being said, I said to Kylie right away, I'm like,
Mhm.
this is done perfectly. It does not bother me. It
Thank you.
makes sense. I think my princess thing is a
Mhm.
contemporary romance that I
Yeah.
just don't love. Like, if you're a fucking
Uh-huh.
princess, you're a princess. So he can call you.
Right.
Cal
Right.
can call me whatever he wants to. So
Well, and it's so funny because when I saw you post that, I was like, I just reposted it without even thinking about it. And you messaged me like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And I've laughed so hard about this. And I thought, well, hopefully when you get to the end of the book, you'll appreciate it and we'll just laugh about this. So I'm really glad that that's where
I
we
was
ended up.
laughing throughout the book about it because I was like, fucking idiot. Like, why do I say the things I say? But I liked it the whole time. There was never a point, I'm overly honest, that I was like, ew. No, I love like it. It's great.
It
So
was
no
not an
icks
ick
from me.
No,
No
okay,
icks.
good. Good.
because we discussed it in length
Hmm.
too because we were like shit, but then I was like, Blake, it's really okay. Like it's
Yeah,
you will
because she read
not
it.
be icky. Yeah,
She's
because
like,
I was
you'll be fine. I was like,
like
God.
yeah, because I DM'd you immediately. I was like, no,
Right.
it's actually good. We're
Yeah.
good.
No, I thought it was hysterical. I did not take offense to it at all. Like it was, we're all good.
You want us
Well,
over? We're good.
Good, good.
Did anyone in your life influence any of the characters?
Ooh, you know, I
you
think
can
that. No, I think that every character is influenced by, somebody or something. I think it's hard for us to be able to consciously disconnect from everybody. So I would say there's probably maybe some aspects or character traits from people that might be in some of the characters, but there's not like a direct one to one, like, oh, I wrote this character based on this person. I think there's a lot of pieces of myself in various characters
Mhm.
because we can't remove ourselves
Right.
entirely. And also, like writing Ivy was just so healing because I got to let her say the things I've always wanted to say to people but couldn't, because I'm polite and also very Southern. And so we don't always tell people exactly how we feel about stuff. And so it was really great to kind of let some of that out on the page for sure.
So your husband didn't influence Cal.
Well,
Cal,
a little,
your husband
I
doesn't
mean,
say those.
he, listen, my husband is such a, kind of like a curmudgeon, but he's so
Mhm.
soft for me and like the people in his circle. So like that kind of aspect of like that duality of you can be both of those things. I would say that's, that came from him. He was more of a, like the proof of like, hey, this can be done. But I mean, he's like I said, not a one-to-one copy there. Cal's a figment of my imagination, not his.
Okay, so I asked you what your favorite line in the book is.
Yes.
What did you choose? Do you want to hear?
Ooh. Yeah. Of course I want to hear yours.
Okay, okay, so there's two that I chose. This one because it's so eloquently written and I think it's really beautiful. There's a beauty in the fragility of life, a precarious, divinely crafted balance between the realms of the living and the dead. This space where our souls are allowed to trod for the briefest moments in times. The world existed before us, and the world will go on without us. Father used to tell me that it is what we do with those fleeting moments in between that matters. Like, I love that line.
I love that too. I'm so glad you love that.
Like I said, it's so beautiful and just
Yeah.
such a nice reminder that life's short. Like, do
Hmm.
what you can with this life.
Yeah.
I also have another one.
I was like, just say your other one.
Yes. I want to
Um,
hear it.
I said it to you already, but when I was freaking out, you know damn well I mean this fucking desk, you wicked woman. I love Cal so much.
That was a good one. Yes, I also wrote that scene in public too.
Damn girl.
Uh, yeah, yeah. I'm really thankful for privacy screens on computers, and then nobody was sitting beside me.
That's amazing.
You know, I
Uh,
wrote three.
Okay, let's hear the third. I want to hear the third one.
Hey, this is
You-
just like a line in the book, you know.
Mhm.
Talon Murphy kneels before me in worshiping adoration. My feet move without a thought, stepping towards him until I'm so close that he has to lift his face towards the heavens to look at me. The adulation in his ashen eyes turns to animalistic lust, a depraved sinner at my altar.
A depraved sinner at my altar. Shut
Yes.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Oh,
The
I love
spices
that.
is so top tier. It is so good. Sorry, I'm not yelling. It's just so good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I love that. That was such a fun scene to write, and I
Yeah.
feel like I can't use so much of that in my marketing right now at the moment because it's kind of that's such a spoilery chapter. So
Right.
I'm so excited for this to like get out in the world so I can start talking about that chapter. So like, look at all this really awesome stuff in here that I couldn't tell you about before.
A spicy scene. Like, I can't wait to hear the
Mhm.
audio of it. That sounds so
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure that it's so good though, because like a spicy scene done right with like perfect
Hmm.
narration, like nothing
Hmm.
can top that.
Yeah. And I have not announced the narrators yet. That is still under lock and key. But when I tell you you're going to lose it, it's so good. So good.
I'm excited.
I can't wait.
And when are you announcing that?
Hopefully soon. So my narrators are recording a little like snippet teaser for me sometime in the next month. So once I have that snippet, I'm going to announce who the narrators are. And then the audiobook is right now planned to come out in February.
You're gonna make us wait. I guess that's okay. I will accept that.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I like I said, you're gonna freak out when you hear it, but I'm gonna make you wait.
I'm excited for you, but dang, we don't like waiting. I don't like being patient. I am patient, but you're so
Are
mean to
you?
us.
You
It's
are?
gonna be worth
What do
it
you
though.
mean?
I didn't know you were patient. That's funny. What was your favorite line that you read?
Oh, okay. So I took a picture of it. This is actually a line that I wrote pretty in front of the fairly early drafts, and I thought it might be a little too flowery, and so I kind of put it on and off the chopping block a lot, but I kept coming back to it and just really kept feeling like this needs to be here. And so it is the moment when Ivy like first really sees Cal, and that moment of, we have this kind of weird, attraction, and there's all this tension, but it's this moment where she's like, this is more than that, and I don't think I'm going to be able to resist it. And I will read it. It says, depthless gray eyes suddenly stare back at me and steal my breath. In this moment of unguarded vulnerability, I see them in a way that I haven't before. They're the misty color of a brackish pool when the tide recedes, the color of smoke billowing from a fire that's just been doused, the sparkling color of a newly polished wedding band. They contain the multitudes of a life filled with days by the shore, fires in the forest, and bells ringing in the god's temple. Entire lifetimes stare back at me.
You paint such a vivid picture. It's so I'm 99% sure that is also highlighted because I told you I had so many to choose.
Oh.
It's dreamy. It is so
Yeah.
dreamy.
Yeah. So if you can't tell, I listened to the song Iris at a very impressionable age and have always had this like idea of this epic love. And I just really wanted to write a story that felt like that. And so this is what I got.
Just to clarify, Goo Goo Dolls, Iris.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
Yes.
was like in my head, like Goo Goo Dolls.
Uh-huh.
This which it's
Yeah.
not the first time that has come up with us, like, in the past, like,
Mhm.
couple months.
No.
I think there's a lot of us that probably listened to it when we were too young and we're like, oh, locked in. Like this
Oh
is
my
this is all
god.
I'm this is all I want now.
Everything that I listened to was too young. Like I was like, God.
None of us should have been listening to Genuine Pony at the ages we were.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not.
Or in
But
seventh grade, 504 boys, I can tell. Like that rap song. Like, no. No, ma'am. Should not have. Should not.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
latchkey kids, so we listened to whatever we wanted.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, I may not have listened to it in the car, but we definitely listened to it the second we got out of our parents' like earshot. So right there with you.
What do you hope that your readers
We take
take
ownership of our.
we
Come
love
on.
this book so much. We're like, this is our book that we are promoting and love.
I love that.
What do you hope your readers will take away from this series when it's completed?
Oh, I think, yeah, this book and really the whole series, I think, has a theme of you are more than how you are perceived. So, I think Ivy struggles a lot in the first book with there's this persona that everyone has made her into. And because of her status and this kind of nickname, she feels like she has to continue to be that person. And it really takes somebody helping open her eyes to be like, you are so much more than that inside. And it's okay that you are that and that you can be that. And so, as I'm really drafting book two, like, I think that's a theme that continues to carry over is that, like, we are not our circumstances. We are something else and we are something more. And we are capable of being whoever we want to be, despite maybe having this darkness or this thing that we think hinders us and holds us back. And that sometimes all we need is the right person to come along to help us realize how truly amazing we are.
I love that.
Do you see what I wrote here, Kylie? I said one of the things that I love is like Ivy's character arc and how
Hmm.
she dealt with the rumors about
Hmm.
her as her poison ivy persona
Mhm.
and how it's safer sometimes to just let people think that you are a bitch and it's
Mhm.
easy to use as a crutch so people can't get close to you. And by the end, her
Mhm.
relationship and things really changed that. And it was just
Mhm.
powerful for her to be like, actually, fuck off. I'm not just that. I'm
Yeah.
some. So,
Yeah.
Ivy's
I
really
love that.
relatable.
yeah.
Like, it's easy to just I'm one of those people that puts myself as the female main character and I just pretend
Mhm.
I'm her.
Mhm.
And it was so easy to pretend I was Ivy the entire time because she was
Mhm.
relatable. I loved her as a female main character. She was very empowering.
Awesome. Well, I love that you say that because that was really my goal. I wanted her to be rough around the edges, but for
Mhm.
us to all be able to identify with having that piece of us that maybe we push down or we conceal or we are too southern to speak about or like whatever that is. But for her to be able to do those things and say those things and also grow, not be
Mhm.
stagnant in who she is.
Okay, this is gonna be. You might not have this, but if you
Okay.
are gonna do like a dream cast for the
Mm.
book, have you?
Okay.
I'm sure you thought about this a little bit.
I
Who do you think?
have thought about this. I don't, you know, I've gone back and forth because a lot of the characters that I think that I see in my head, I see pieces of different people, but then
Mhm.
I also think that they are the actors themselves maybe are older than what, Cal and
Yeah.
Ivy are in the story. But I really see Ivy, one of the celebrities that I used as a my reference doc for all my character art. I really liked Octavia Blake from the 100, and that actor that plays her. I think I kind of see her as that a little bit, but I would need somebody, a little bit younger. And then Cal has a lot of aspects of like Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. So I know Viggo Mortensen is probably, unavailable. But he definitely is, in my head for that.
We
But I'm
need
excited. I'm excited to see fan cast. Like that's one of the things that I know that I'm like, oh, I've made it. Like I'm a success. Like I want people to be in my inbox. Like, oh my god, I pictured this person, and I think that would be so cool.
Blakely loves fan casting.
Oh, I
Like,
do
you're
love it.
good at it.
It's like I'll do it. Don't worry about
Uh-huh.
it. But
Do
I
you
kind
do
of
you have a fan cast? Yeah.
I've thought about this, and I don't. Well, I agree with you. It's hard because, to be honest, I
Mhm.
don't know a lot of young actors like
Mhm. Yeah.
that. So sometimes I like to cast people like 90s versions of these. Like, have you seen like the 90s Akatar version? I think
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah. Yeah.
top
Yeah.
tier of that.
Mhm.
So I need to simmer on it. And don't worry, I'll post a reel about it because I will. But feel free in book 2 to have
Okay.
Cal open 2 doors in a slutty way, like Aragorn. Like we support it.
Girl, I got you. I got you.
I
I'm here
never
for
thought I'd
that.
hear a sentence of open the door 2 doors in a slutty way.
Yeah, I mean it is.
Those
It's a
slutty
Right?
slut.
But
doors.
it is. It is. I love it.
I was watching the extended version on HBO Max this
Uh-huh.
weekend. Like, like
Just dreamy. I love
just
it.
opening doors, and I'm like, this is the best. How do you feel when, well, I guess it's for any arcs when you read theories about your book, or have you read any yet?
Mhm. I haven't read any yet. I think that would be cool, but also I don't know. I don't want them to influence book 2. So like
Right
I already
now,
have,
yeah, because you're not
right
done.
now I
Yeah.
don't, but what I'm more curious to see is like if people pick up on little Easter eggs and
Mhm.
hints that are scattered throughout the book. And I'm excited for when they read book 2 and realize that some of the things were hinted at pretty early in book 1. So I'm having a lot of fun with that.
That's
Well,
like speaking that's our love language, truly.
that's our
Yeah.
Like,
love
we
language.
love
It's
Easter
Easter eggs.
eggs and,
Yes.
like, looking for everything and their
Hmm.
meaning. Like, we call each other, "This is the definition of this name," like, without even saying hi. We just jump
Yeah.
right into
Just
it, and
love
so
that.
I can't wait that we can do this.
Well,
Yeah.
because we are doing a separate episode on
Hmm.
Godsbane later, and we are going to have to obviously reread and go through with our Easter eggs, and I'm excited for it.
So now
Are
when I
you
do
a
my reread I'm gonna have to like highlight. I'm gonna look at it differently because I am gonna reread before we
Mhm.
discuss it. I'm ready. I've been holding off till the episode. It's taking a lot. It's
I
so good.
just I just love that somebody is rereading. Like, that just makes me so happy. I love that so much.
We are rereaders
It's
in general. We love and because I
Mhm.
feel like there's so many books that are actually better the second time around. Because
Oh, yeah.
you go back in, you're like, oh my
Mhm.
God, it's that. Like, this makes more sense now. And you appreciate
Mhm.
what the writer was doing more.
Mhm.
And well, we love Easter eggs and we love theories. We're big theories gals. So
Yes.
I'm excited
I love that.
to go back in.
I'm excited too.
your book has a 4.7 on Goodreads already.
It
That's
does.
incredible.
Thank
Like
you.
this book is so promising. It was
Mhm.
refreshing. We're both like at the same time saying it's a breath of
Mhm.
fresh air. It's just
Mhm.
the magic system's different. It like I said, it is a breath of fresh air. It's totally different than what we're used to for like fantasies. Like I feel like we've been
Mhm.
reading a lot of the same things over and over,
Yeah.
and this is just so wonderful. And I feel like I can't imagine somebody not liking this book. Maybe I take it personally at this point.
Well, yeah, you will take
I
it away.
appreciate
Mm.
I appreciate that you're probably gonna take it as personally as I do. But,
I
I
will
know
fight somebody like
I know, reading is so subjective. Like, I know that it's gonna happen, and, there's I just tell myself there are very popular books in the genre that I read that I didn't like, and so, like, I try to use myself as, like, a case in point, but then I also remind myself I was in a Facebook group for a time of, like, fantasy readers. I ended up leaving a lot of those because I just didn't want the noise to kinda influence,
Yeah.
and I'm really big on, like, respecting reader spaces versus author spaces, so when I got deeper into writing, I really tried to leave a lot of the reader spaces. But there was a post in that group where someone said that they read all three books in the Empyrean series and they didn't find a stitch of plot in all three books. And so I just remember that when I'm like, see, that person probably will also read my book and be like, what is this? So like it's subjective. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't like something, but I
Well, now
really
I'm mad.
I know.
well,
I
if you have haters, like I will fight them. But if
well, thank you.
you have haters, you've made it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm taking that. I love that. But I love that you said that it was a breath of fresh air because I really set out to kind of write something that didn't feel like everything I was reading at the moment. And if you like the idea of gods and elemental magic, and there's some really exciting things that are happening in the indie space, like a lot of books that are coming out right now, all are kind of that same thing. I think we all hit that same wavelength that this, we
Hmm.
were like, oh, we have to write about this thing, so I think that that's kind of going to be the next wave, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Well,
I'm a slut for gods.
I was about to say, we're big
Yeah,
gods gals.
love it.
So I feel like you wrote this book for us. Yeah.
I want people to feel like I wrote it for them. That sounds great.
Well, like that's honestly like for the Empyrean, the way that we scroll about freak
Hmm.
out, scroll about God. So like to have a book that's like God, we're like, oh, this is wonderful.
Yes.
Because
Big-
I haven't read, I mean, I've read a handful of books about gods, but I mean,
Hmm.
everything like Fae was the most like popular thing
Yeah.
right now.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's nice that
Hmm.
we're transitioning and having something
Yeah.
different. So thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Did you have to cut anything from this book that like you felt was significant that you didn't want to?
Ooh, so I actually played around with the ending a lot and I wrote several different versions of it. My beta readers actually read a different ending than what ended up going in the arcs and in the final copy. Because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. And so there was like a cliffhanger, but then it didn't feel like it was fulfilling. And then there was more of an extended ending, and it felt like maybe I wrapped it up a little too much and didn't
Mm.
like leave you wanting the next one. And so that was cut a lot. Also, in between betas and arcs, I redid the first three chapters completely. So I got to like send it back out to a couple of people and be like, hey, check this out. What do you think about this instead? So that was really exciting. But I wrote a lot of drafts that I trashed because I just needed to get in the right headspace of the character and figure out like how they would be approaching this situation, even if it wasn't going to make the final cut. So I wrote multiple chapters from Cal's point of view that never went anywhere because I just needed to see like knowing the information that he knows
Mhm.
that Ivy doesn't know, how would he actually respond to this? So writing out some dialogue, figuring out his kind of internal monologue, it really helped me as an author be able to position it better from Ivy's point of view, to where all of his actions kind of made sense in the long run.
Feel free to post those bonus reviews of Cal.
I was gonna say, are you gonna
Yeah.
post those?
So in between the last Ivy chapter and the first Cal chapter, there's a series of letters that he writes, and I am going to share those. I'm very excited about that. I'm working on a special edition right now, though, so I might hold that for then. But yeah, I have some Cal nuggets that might come out for sure.
I'm trying not to like freak out. We're working on being calm because I'm really excited for like a special edition. I want more chapters. I want more.
Yeah. There's so much more to be said in this world. So like even though the book, you know, wraps up nicely, like the door is still wide open, and sometimes when you solve one problem, you have actually created a whole slew of other problems, and reality is going to be something that they're going to have to deal with in book 2. So I've already started writing some really great stuff for that.
But do you have like an idea about when you would like book 2 to be done?
Yes, I would love for it to be out sometime like the end of 2026, but I don't want to commit to anything right now because I like this needs to cook and simmer and really be the best product that it can be, and like I'm balancing a lot in
Yeah.
life too, so I definitely am going to make it a priority. It's something like these things are keeping me awake at night, so like it's happening, it's moving. But I already have a title, so we're trucking right along.
I'm so
You're
excited.
gonna make us wait to know the title.
Yeah,
Good for
I
you.
am.
It's okay.
As
I
you
love
should.
that for you. Don't love it for me.
See, but
Like,
she's
keep your secrets, that's
patient.
fine. Okay, but I really like this book, and I have not felt this good about a book in a long time. Like, it just you haven't seen me react like this in so long, so
No.
Mhm.
it's so good.
I can't
I'm so excited
remember.
for everyone to read this.
I was at our family's property when she was
Mhm.
reading it, and then just, like, the text that I was getting, she was very jacked up about it, like, the whole time. Like, just I was like, "Okay, I'll read it. I know. I have to
That's
finish
who
it."
I am as a reader, and I also am like always blowing my friends up, like, "Oh my god!" So I just love that somebody else has that same kind of reaction
She
to my
bullied me
book.
first. She bullied me first, and then so I'm
Yeah,
just giving it back
Mhm.
to her.
I did.
Yeah,
I
love
did
that. I
bully
love that.
her. I made her get a Kindle, made her read
She did.
Avatar, and I made her I'm like,
I
"Let's do a
tore
podcast."
Yeah.
I tore some ligaments, and she's like, "Well, now you have to." And I did have to because I was bedbound, and here we are. It was the best thing ever because now we are at Godsbane.
Love that.
Here we are. Is there any, like, final thoughts or anything that you wanna share about this book that's spoiler
Mm.
free?
Ooh, um I think about
You can
that one
say
for a
no.
minute. Yeah, no, I mean, I could sit here and yap about this book all day. I'm so excited that after 2 years of working on this and this being this like fever dream that I've lived in, that now other people get to experience it and that it's out in the world. And I just want people to be able to escape from reality for just a little bit and enjoy this story about people who are trying their hardest to change their world, and they might go about it in all the wrong ways, and they might be rough around the edges and a little stabby, but they're trying they're trying their best. And I just I want Ivy to resonate with people and people to see themselves in her. So I'm very excited for my dream to be out there in the world.
We're so
I feel
excited
really good
for
about this
you.
book. I feel good about this. Like, I feel like it's, like, the next excitement. Like, that's I feel confident in your book.
Yeah.
We'll be
Thank you
blowing
so
it
I'm
up.
much.
sold.
I love that.
Well,
I have asked all my questions. Do you have any more, Blake?
no, I think we got them all.
Right.
We are so grateful that you took the time to hang out with
Yeah.
us and reschedule. Um,
Sorry.
just thank you for writing the book. Like,
Thank you
we
for
love it.
reading it. Like that's honestly, that's the biggest compliment. If someone's like, "Hey, I read your book and I liked it." I'm like, "Yes." Like there's so many books that are out there. There are so many things. Like I know all of our TBRs are just never ending. And so thank you for making space on yours for my book. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Everyone needs to make space. I'm saying this on the podcast now. Like, everybody needs to make space for this book. Like, it's you won't regret it.
And this interview will come out on September 24th. And then we're having an
Okay.
additional Godsbane episode coming out right after the book's release, which is on October 7th.
That way we
Awesome.
don't spoil it for anyone.
Yeah.
Yay. I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear it. This is like when I heard that you all were going to do like a dive just on that, I was like, this is like a dream come true. Like I think that's just so cool that somebody likes it enough. They're like, I want to talk about it for 45 minutes.
I am jacked to like go back in and find those Easter eggs because now I'm on a
Yeah.
mission.
They're there.
Ready for
Ah,
book 2.
so ready.
Book 1 hasn't even come out yet, and I'm like, yes, book 2.
Right.
Lindsay's like, shut up.
Okay.
I just let me have it.
No,
Okay, so
I do want this to like I'm trying to like live in this moment. My head can only think about the release right now, but it like I said, book 2 is waking me up in the middle of the night. So I'm like, "Ugh, I gotta get going.
It will be
We gotta
worth
start moving.
it'll be worth the
Yeah.
wait. And I'm so
Yeah.
excited for other people to read this book.
Mhm.
It's like Kylie said, a breath of fresh air. So thank you so much for coming on here.
Thank you for having me.